All right. Good morning, everybody. Today's date is July 27th, 2022. This is a regular meeting of the members of the State Liquor Authority being conducted in New York City with video conferencing to Albany and Buffalo. This meeting is also being live streamed on the authority's YouTube channel. Present today are Chairman Bradley, Commissioner Fan, and Commissioner Ford. Staff in attendance, General Counsel Meyerhoff, Deputy Commissioner of Licensing Donahue, and myself, Secretary Roper. The next meeting dates are August 17th and August 31st. While in the meeting rooms, please silence your mobile phones and take phone calls or conversations outside. No food or drinks in the rooms. Also, for New York City, the public restrooms are located on the second floor. Items will be called in the order they are signed in, first in Buffalo, then Albany, and then in New York City. When your item is called, please approach the podium or the table. Identify yourself, and representatives, please identify your clients when you approach. Chairman, do you have any announcements?
I have one. This will be the last meeting for our counsel, Gary Meyerhoff. He has resigned. Some would believe that I fired him, but no, he has resigned. When he took this job more than 3 years ago, he told me up front that he was leaving a job in private law to do. He wanted to do public service for 3 years, and he also wanted to have a hopefully a lifestyle change because the private law is significantly more hours than what we do. Unfortunately for him, about 3 months later, COVID hit. So his job went from 9 to 6 to about 9 to 10 at night, working 7 days a week. So unfortunately, the lifestyle change never happened. But I think for the people of the state of New York, we all benefited from him being here because he, along with Tom Donahue, as well as Sharif Kabir, who's our executive deputy commissioner, basically invented the cocktails to go in about 5 hours, which kept the restaurant industry, I think, afloat during that period of time. And without his assistance, that would have never been possible. It's a model that's actually been, I believe, copied throughout the country because we were sending it all over the place on the day that we did draft it. He's, in my estimation, I've had 3 counsels, and this is not an aspersion on any of the other 2 counsels, but he's certainly the best that I've had. And I think that says about his talent more so than lack of talent of the others, because they were all highly effective as well. But his litigation skills were second to none. I think anyone that has gone against him recognized that. And I want to thank him for his public service and for spending it with us, because we benefited greatly from it, and best of luck.
Thank you very much. Thanks to all of you.
All right, and I'm going to make a quick announcement. Sorry, Gary, but didn't mean to step on it. But there's for 500-foot hearings, we're going to make there's going to be a slight change. There's a new inbox that's been created specifically for 500-foot hearings. It's a 500-foot FOOT hearings at sla.ny.gov. It's current policy to send in 500-foot hearing materials to the Secretary's office, but that's gotten things pretty much jumbled in the Secretary's office. So we did create a new inbox. The new notices will have the email basically address in it, so watch out for that. First item is in Buffalo. Number is 1172. That's LUXOR SIPS LLC.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, ladies and gentlemen. Special hello to you, Gary, and best of luck to you. To my left is Tara Funderburg. She's the owner, the single owner of LUXOR SIPS LLC, DBA LUXOR Steak and Lobster. What we have here is an unfortunate mistake. At the last meeting at which you approved her license, I have the 2-minute and 5-second clip that I can play for you. It was rejected by the Secretary's office because you don't want videos, but you can hear that at the time of her approval, it seemed like she was walking out of that room. It seemed to her with a license in her hand. The only limitation was on jazz music. Jazz was defined by this by the Board of Commissioners, and no karaoke. And she was given her hours, and she went off. And about a month later, she opened her doors. The board did send a letter with conditions saying that there was some paperwork that needed to be submitted. Unfortunately, the board sent it to her prior representative, Chester Menkiana, although he did not appear with Ms. Funderburg.
But can I stop you there? Because, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, we don't just send it to her. I'm sorry, we don't just send it to the representative. The letter goes to the licensee, it goes to the representative, and who else?
It goes to the licensee with a copy to the representative on file, yes.
And does it also go to her home?
No, it goes to the licensed premises.
Okay, so go
Yeah,
ahead.
that's correct.
She got a copy of the letter too, which the letter is clear that you don't have a license until this stuff is here.
That's correct. It is. It did go to her. She did get it. She saw that it was copied to Chet, and she made an assumption, an unfortunate assumption that, she did check with Harmony Healy from my office. Harmony advised her, and she still has the text on her cell phone, that yes, the packet was sent to the Liquor Authority.
So that conditional, that letter, but the conditional approval makes clear that you can't start operating until you get your license.
Yes, it does. Absolutely, it does. And my client made a mistake. It was improper of her to have opened her doors until the license was hanging on the wall, no question about it. And if the board is looking for a reason to deny her a license, you've got one right there. But she is one of the very few minority women-owned fine dining establishments in the state.
Well, that's my next question. When she came in here, and there was a lot of problems with her application, which I'm sure, I don't know if you're aware of because you weren't here, but she's been made aware of them. And I had reservations because of those problems granting this license. One, she had no experience. Can somebody, what is that?
Nicole, is there like construction going on in Buffalo?
Yes,
or-
yeah, there's road construction going on right outside the building.
Right out the window here. Here's a jackhammer.
Right, so there were significant concerns I had, and the license was eventually granted on reconsideration. And part of the concerns I had were she has no experience. The location was highly violent before she got it. In fact, I think we canceled or revoked twice. And she maintained that she was going to run it herself and operate it herself. And now we come to find out that there is an individual there who we know nothing about, who apparently is her fiance. I think she's there as well, but he clearly is taking a significant role in this business. And I have concerns now regarding that because those are the concerns I had in the first place.
Chairman, let me confirm what you said, about what you said, which was correct, and let me correct you as to what is not correct. It is correct that the prior establishment, Molly's Pub, was the seat of violence. It had some horrible occurrences at that location. My client is not at all related to any of those people. Doesn't know those people.
I'm aware of that, but
Yeah.
in my experience, places that are problems very frequently become problems again.
Sure. And what Ms. Funderburg has been sure to do by turning it from a pub, a tavern, a saloon, into a fine dining establishment, by all accounts, she has turned that area around. And we have the video. We sent you stills in the packet that shows that by 10:30 p.m., the parking lot was empty. There have never been any incidents at that establishment in the time since she opened without the proper license granted.
I don't think we can argue that, but I don't think that it's there's a consensus that this is just a fine dining establishment. We have reports from the Buffalo Police Department that it has become a gang-focused establishment.
Yeah, which is what I'm here to correct. the second, before I get to that, and that's going to be the bulk of my discussion, Teru Woods is Tara Funderburg's boyfriend. Tara Funderburg is in the middle of a divorce. Teru Woods does work there. He is a W-2 employee. I believe that the board's been provided with payroll records as requested, and he works there. And I think that even if you were to speak to the janitors who submitted affidavits on her behalf, they'll all talk about LUXOR steak and lobster as their place. You know, they'll say, "Oh yeah, our restaurant," and that was the language that when Mr. Woods and Mr. Briggs were questioned by the police, they said, "Yeah, we are open until such and such. We are closed at this time." For that language to have been taken as indicia of ownership was incorrect. We have videos and we save the videos. We have cameras all over the place, interior and exterior. And the Buffalo Police, I have personally spoken with the C District captain and chief. They're welcome to come in anytime they want. They can have access. They can even have a live feed to the cameras there. It is a fine dining establishment. My wife and I have eaten there. There is a truck across the street that is open till 2 in the morning, a food truck. It attracts something of a rowdier crowd, and there's a 7-Eleven next door. The woman who called is from the 7-Eleven. The video makes crystal clear that at the time that this woman called, and you have this in the packet that I sent you, we were closed. Oh, now I am not an owner of the restaurant, but it's my client, so I say we. But the restaurant was closed. There were no more patrons in it, and the parking lot was empty, as you can see by the photos that are attached as exhibits in the packet under caption under the July 5th letter. You can see under Exhibit E, we gave you photographs in 30-second increments, and you can see that by 10:20 and 13 seconds on May 29th, the parking lot was empty. So I do beg to differ with any characterization of this establishment as anything other than a fine dining establishment. It is steak and
Listen,
lobster.
I'm not going to argue with you. There has not been an incident. What I am telling you is that the reports we're getting are not good. The police shouldn't have to go in there. The police have better things to do than have to go and check to see if gang members are hanging out at a restaurant. They shouldn't have to do that.
The police have never come inside that facility.
Yeah, but our investigators have. And if she's going to head down this road, it's going to be a short road.
I can assure you, by my own observation.
There's not to be lines out front. This is a restaurant. There's people waiting to get into a restaurant. There's crowds. I'm just saying we don't have an incident. You're right. But when we do have one, it's all going to go up in smoke. And this, to me, reading this, there's sparks. I don't know what the other two commissioners think, but this is what appears to be happening is exactly what I was concerned about. And I'm not going to let that go on again. This would be the third time that I've canceled a license at this place, and it's going to be a very short leash. And we're also going to need, because it's clear to me that her fiance is doing more than working there, so he's going to need a personal questionnaire as well as to be fingerprinted and sent to us.
We will certainly comply with whatever the chairman and the commissioners require us to comply with. I can tell you that the premises are kept in an orderly manner, that Mr. Woods, he is present, and he does act as a manager. I've also seen him with a mop and a bucket. I've also seen him behind the grill. But there is one owner there, and that is Tara Funderburg.
What are your hours? What are the hours right now?
4 p.m. to 11 p.m.
4 p.m. to 11 p.m. But as the affidavits have indicated, they tend to shut down well before that.
And
she's allowed to be open by the city until 1 and by the state liquor authority until midnight, but she closes. She usually does last call at 9:30 p.m.
And during this mistake about her believing she was open. Who was she buying the alcohol from?
She was using inventory that she still had left over from the last time she was open.
For 6 months.
Yeah. It's a lot
My
of inventory.
understanding.
6 months.
It's primarily
I'm asking her. Can she answer me?
Sure.
You didn't buy a bottle of liquor during the 6 months you were open.
No, I didn't have to. I was shut down by you guys on September 1st, and just 2 or 3 days prior to that, I had just received a large inventory from Southern Glaciers, whatever they're called.
I'm gonna check that when I go back,
That's fine.
and I'm gonna find out how many cases did you get approximately.
I have no idea. I would have to look at my paperwork.
Well, give me an idea.
I don't know.
Is it,
I would have to
is
look
it
at my
10?
paperwork.
Is it 10? Is it 20? 50?
Probably close to between 20 and 30. I don't know because I don't have that paperwork. I didn't know
Do you
that you were
remember?
going to do that
Do you,
today.
do you remember how much you spent to stock the bar?
I do not.
You can't put it in. Did you know if it was more or less than $50,000?
I'm not sure. I don't have the paperwork in front of me.
Okay.
This is over 6 months ago.
I know, when you were open
Right,
for
your
6 months, do you know how often, I'm sure you do know how often restaurants get deliveries from Southern to operate? Usually weekly.
How many other $50,000 expenses might you have in opening up a restaurant for the first time? I mean,
I don't know because this is my first time opening up a restaurant, but I have other things going on in my life as well, children, my household, so numbers tend to get jumbled. Without me having the paperwork in front of me, I have no idea.
okay.
All right, you guys want to wait?
No, we can do it. No, I'm ready. We can vote, Donald. I just wanted to be clear on the record that there is already major concerns I have here. Go ahead.
So on the request for reconsideration, Commissioner Fan,
I'll vote yes.
Commissioner Ford,
I'll vote yes to reconsider as well.
and Chairman Bradley.
I'll vote yes.
And then next, is it return to licensing, or can we act on the?
Yeah, I'll go back to that.
Yes, back to license.
I'll vote.
I'll vote for that as well.
Assuming we have all the conditions, it's going to be plus the questionnaire and fingerprints from,
Yeah, you can give him the license back, but if we don't have that within a certain period of time, report back to us and.
okay, so that won't be a condition of
No,
approval.
no,
So-
but I need that as soon as possible. The questionnaire from her boyfriend, as well as fingerprints.
Right, so assuming we have all the conditions of approval, we'll issue the license with the same conditions as before.
Yes.
Yes. So, ma'am, I hope you're hearing everything that the chairman's saying to you about your premises and how you got to operate it. We really don't want to see you back here again. We good?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Next in Buffalo is 1187. That's the Walsh Hotel LLC. Thank you.
Good morning, Robert Heil and representing Timothy Cooper, the Walsh Hotel. Good morning.
This is a bar inside a hotel? What is this?
Used to be a hotel. It's
It used
apartments.
to be a hotel.
Apartments on second,
Used to
third
be
floor.
apartments.
Are you good with this?
Yeah.
Is your client aware of the problems that the police department have had at this place in the past?
The place has been closed for about 3.5 years. He is aware. It's a small town. Everybody was aware. He purchased the property as a real estate investment when it became available. And
he's pretty much asking for the same method of operation that they had. DJs, karaoke, live, jukebox,
Well-
recorded music.
let me address that if I could, please. That's just a proactive approach that we do with the application. What we've seen in our experience, and we'll correct it if I'm incorrect, is that at any time, if he were to use his side room and have a DJ there for a birthday party, and the liquor authority happened to show up, then we didn't want him not to be compliant. What he does now is his background music is primarily Irish music. And he just runs a little place. It's open until about 10, 11 o'clock at night and closes down. We just hit as many boxes as we could, trying to be proactive with the application. If that's not something we should be doing going forward, I would welcome your advice on that.
Tom?
I am not going to give you advice, but when we see that, when we have a place that was a focal point for police attention, and then we see somebody asking for everything on the entertainment side, it kind of raises red flags.
We can remove things if you'd like.
No, I'm fine.
I will give you some proactive advice.
Thank you.
The board's job here, one of its primary jobs, is to make sure that people don't get hurt. And when you apply for a method, privileges, that sound like a nightclub and they license it, your client who's standing right there could then transfer the business to somebody else with those privileges and run a nightclub. And that's a problem. There are often times when people get charged with having security guards when they weren't approved for security guards, and they wonder, why would anybody ever want to take a disciplinary action against us for adding security? The answer is, we are concerned here about people who apply and claim that they're just going to have a quiet restaurant, always intending to have a nightclub. And then when we get there, we find there's security there. That's why they get charged for that. So I think you should resist the temptation to just check all the boxes, because it causes the state liquor authority to think there's something else going on at that place that they need to protect against. And it might cause your clients trouble in getting licenses in the future.
Understood. Thank you.
All right, Donald, we're ready.
All right, Commissioner Fan?
I'm gonna vote to approve.
Commissioner Ford?
What are your hours? What do you plan your hours to be? What are you operating at now, I guess I should say?
On Thursday, it's 3 to 10, and Friday, Saturday, 3 to 11.
Okay, that's decent. I'll approve as well.
And Chairman Grant?
I'll approve.
All right, thank you. You've been approved.
Thank you very much.
And next in Buffalo is 1183 Allen's Wine and Liquor Store, Inc.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Vic Vina from Allen's Wine and Liquor in Olean, New York. We submitted an application just to add on a back room warehouse for some extra storage. We would hope to expand our retail space a little bit afterwards, but the main objective is to have more storage space. I'm here just in case you guys have any questions about the application.
I'm gonna vote to approve.
Commissioner Ford?
I'm going to vote to approve as well. You're right in between the other two stores, so I'll approve.
I'll vote to approve.
Chairman Bradley. All right. You've been approved.
Thank you very much.
Yep, have a good day.
You as well.
And Nicole, that's it in Buffalo, correct?
That's correct.
All right.
Anybody else?
Yep. You can end the stream. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now that that's gone, we're moved to Albany. Yeah, we'll move to Albany. Next item is 1177 Denison and FESTA LLC.
Good morning, people of the board. I'm Will Green. I represent Denison FESTA LLC. I'm here with, to my left, your right, Joseph Festa and Matt Denison. This is on an alteration application for Rudy's Wine and Liquor Store that's located in Cooperstown, New York. My two clients are here to answer any questions you might need or have concerning the public convenience or need for the expansion that they're contemplating.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Donald. I think we're ready.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna vote to approve.
Commissioner Ford?
I'm assuming you guys just had a pretty busy weekend.
Yes, we did.
I bet you did. Yeah, I bet you did. I'll approve as well.
And Chairman Bradley.
I'll approve.
All right. You've been approved.
Thank you. Up, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you. Yep. Paula, that's it in Albany, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. You can
Have a nice day.
stop the stream and go back to the office. Thank you. Next, I believe we have the Spanish interpreter here. We have a Spanish interpreter here. It's 1138, Gastronomic Investment LLC. Jonathan, is the interpreter here or no?
No.
Oh, not yet. Okay. So we'll move on. Next is 1170, A1 Liquors, Inc. Is that not
A1 Liquors, Inc.?
A1 Liquors, Inc.?
I think they're protesting. I don't
The
get
applicant
sense
not
that
here?
the applicant is here.
I don't get the sense that anybody's here.
Yeah, I mean, someone signed in
stood up
Zhao
over
Ling
here.
Li and
The
Yi Long
protesters
Ren.
are here.
Hi, how are you? I'm Xiaoling Li.
Can you pull the microphone down and speak up?
Hi, how are you? I'm Xiaoling Li.
And are you the applicant?
No.
Okay, we're gonna have to second call it. We have to
Oh.
wait for the applicant. I shouldn't touch the microphone?
I have a sign up in front saying, do not touch me.
Okay.
All right.
All right, so now we'll go 1150 and
Mine's not
1175.
facing me.
This is Stop and Go Inc. 1150 and 1175. They're tied together.
Good morning. Good morning, Your Honor. I'm sorry, I'm a lawyer. I said, Your Honors. I should say, excuse me. Esteemed members of the board. My name is Dan Pagano. I represent Stop and Go in Peekskill, in downtown Peekskill, next to the post office. And my client received some violations, Your Honors, and it's unfortunate that some misunderstandings, mistakes were made, but that my client.
Which is the mistake?
Well,
The second one or the first one?
Well, all of them. I mean, my client did not understand, and I think he was honest because.
See, don't come up here with that. Because
Well-
the first time maybe he didn't understand when he's got an AX license and has a volleyball court outside serving drinks, but then he moves it to the basement after he gets caught and starts a pool ring.
And don't we have a signed statement too?
I'm sorry, I wasn't aware of a
Pool
ring.
table. You
I'm
had a
sorry.
pool table and pool games down in the basement where he was serving
I
alcohol.
apologize. I'm looking at the charges. I'm sorry. I didn't hear about this before.
It's the same thing. He was doing
Well-
the same thing twice.
There's another case
What's the second one?
that he defaulted on.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, so the week before the hearing began, were you representing him at the hearing?
No. I just got called literally yesterday because the attorney couldn't come. I
So
apologize.
He went to hearing on April 18th, 2022. So that hearing was noticed a few weeks before then at least. And the hearing was on this issue, consuming on the premises, essentially running an on-premise place for an off-premises place. And he came in and testified and basically admitted it, but claimed he didn't know it was illegal, even though we have him signing a piece of paper when he got his license saying, I will not serve on premises. So anyway, he lost the hearing.
No, I
A
understand.
week
Your Honor.
before that hearing, he was caught again. Consumption on the premises in the basement. Pool tables and chairs set up, empty beer bottles all around. He must have known he was going in on that hearing when that happened. So that's what the chairman is referring to. In that case, he didn't even respond to the notice of pleading. It was a default.
Well, I didn't intend to come in any way trying to, not take responsibility for him or allege he wasn't responsible. He was. But I do, from reading the paperwork, I saw that he didn't deny or he did admit to the charges. He demurred, and
Well, he did to the one. The other one that he's mentioning is also on today, which is a default, which means he's pled no contest to it.
I didn't know about that one. I apologize.
Well, it's the
Yeah.
same. It's two charges.
Yes.
It's basically the same type of behavior, except now he took it from outside and moved it inside.
Do you want to take some time and review the paperwork before?
I think it's clear that he is responsible. I was hoping they could discuss perhaps that this disproportionate impact on him and his family their entire life savings are into this business. And I can assure you that I have said that I'm going to be taking a more active role if he's allowed to explain to him what he can and can't do. I'm very,
Well, I'd like him to explain what he thought he was doing.
because I am a former city attorney for the city of Peekskill, so I have some experience with different.
But can he explain what he
sure.
thought he was doing?
If you'd like him to, sure. Can you explain what you're doing? Like, we have second call, he's an interpreter.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, we shouldn't have even been doing this.
Yeah,
Do you have an
yeah.
interpreter signed up?
We didn't have a request for him. I don't.
I'm
believe.
sorry.
Is that a Spanish interpreter or
Yes.
that he'll need? We have one that's supposedly coming soon. If you
All
want
right, so
to.
I'm sorry. What's the
Well, I'm not going to go. Does he understand everything that's happened so far?
Yeah, I understand. Level 5.
Well, no.
All right, so we need the interpreter.
Yeah, I'm sorry. All right. Thank you, I'm sorry.
All right. Tom's going to go see if he can fix the mic. But next up, it's another one we're going to hold over. Next it will be 1171 Sub-Zero Yonkers Inc.
How's that?
Good.
Just like that? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's break here.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
And Mr. Meyerhoff, I wish you all the best in your
Thank you.
future endeavors. I'm Bob Romano. I'm here with Jonathan Billups, who is one of the two principals of Sub-Zero Yonkers Incorporated. We're here before you due to the extensive negative history that the premises has had, and we're here to assure you that there is no connection whatsoever from my client to any of the previous operators at this location. He is, and hearing people before us this morning, he is attempting to open a late-night restaurant that will not have any dancing. He is looking to put a DJ late at night for the customers to listen to while they're moved from food to beverage. And
So he wants to have a restaurant, but he wants to be open at 4 a.m.?
he will close at 2. We discussed that. He'll close at 2 a.m. They're looking to do late night to serve patrons that work, employees of surrounding stores, restaurants that would be taking advantage of the midnight to 2 a.m. Hours. If he's here to answer any questions you may have. He is currently an asbestos investigator, has done so for a number of years, and is looking to take a substantial portion of his investment, of his savings, into opening this premise.
So is he aware that 2 of the 6 licenses in the last 19 years here have been canceled?
Yes, we've
Know that?
gone through that. And again, other than being the same location, there is no connection to this.
No, but he has this, once again, and we've heard this,
Right.
I sound like a broken
I
record.
know.
He has the exact same method of operation, except now he wants to focus on late night, which is when all the problems happen.
Do you want to address that?
If I could, I don't know if you guys are familiar with a restaurant in White Plains called Z Prime. Well, it's more of it's a high-end restaurant pretty much, and they focus on like it's about a 25 to about 25 and older crowd, and it's more hip and new age. That's how a lot of these high-end restaurants are going about things, where they have a DJ where it's not dancing, but you understand they have the music in the background. So I mean that's where these high-end restaurants are trending right now. We were trying to mimic that.
Who's your chef?
His name is he has the same name as my partner, Josh. I don't know, he's more of a friend of my
And what is you're putting in all the money, so where's Josh?
No, me and my partner are going half. My partner currently he's sick right now.
Yeah, he would have been here. He tested positive last
The
night. for COVID.
document doesn't say that he's putting in half the money, it only says you're putting in the money.
Right. According to the application, the funds are coming from your bank.
The majority of the funds are coming from me, but my partner is helping me with rent and other small.
There's no undisclosed investor in here whatsoever.
No,
it's-
absolutely not.
At the time, that was a snapshot at the time we submitted the application.
Well, if the snapshot has changed, you need to tell us.
I don't think we're talking about anything substantial.
No, it's nothing substantial. I
No,
put
the
up,
documents only have his name on it.
Right, so there's been a change that we haven't been told about.
no, there's no change.
How, what kind of money did he?
Nothing really except for rent.
So why, I guess other than the obvious concern, is what are you getting out of this? He's a 50% partner in the restaurant, but you're the one who put up all the money.
Okay, he has I'm gonna explain to you, like, him and his friend, what he brings along, basically, I have no experience in the restaurant industry, basically. He brings along the chef, basically, and his chef used to work for a bunch of high-end restaurants over here in the city and stuff like that, like, so.
So for that, he gets 50% of the profits?
I mean,
it doesn't seem like a good deal for you.
Well, I'm also, he didn't disclose any experience in this industry in his personal questionnaire.
He has, I think we put down for him as a retail entrepreneur.
Online,
a retail entrepreneur.
Right.
Right.
And is this
but
your
I think
menu?
previous.
Yes, that's a menu.
Because, I mean, you're calling it high-end. Your burger is $7. Your seafood platter is $8. You looked at this?
I didn't know.
Okay, so Mr. Romano, you said previously he had some,
It might have, I know.
but it's not disclosed.
The restaurant experience that went prior to the 5 years. I understand
The personal questionnaire doesn't say,
Right.
it says relevant experience whenever.
Right, we can expand on that. We'll be happy to submit that to you.
She's right. I didn't look at this closely. Now I'm looking at it closely. You're going to sell a New York strip steak for $7?
No, he didn't put the right pricing.
That might have been.
That's the wrong
No,
pricing.
it looks bogus to us. It looks like you want to have a nightclub. This is what we were talking about.
No, that was submitted, the menu was submitted with the items, not, the prices were not.
Mr. Romano, I don't know whether you
discussed.
reviewed this or not. This is not remotely close to a high-end
Right.
menu. This is below, this is not even, a diner wouldn't serve this.
I believe when I walked into that place, you could tell that we were 9 months to a year from this place being open, given the situation in Yonkers with building permits.
Come back 8/17. Bring your partner. Bring the chef.
Will do.
Okay.
And
Fair enough.
if you need
And
to
will
amend
ex-
any documents, okay,
Right,
get them amended before then and
Will
get them
do.
to Secretary's office.
will do. I'll amend the financial disclosure page and give you,
You know, the personal
The-
questionnaire, the menu, anything else that's out there.
correct.
Okay.
Correct, fair enough.
Yeah, for everybody in the room, it's a false material statement that we can charge for if information provided in the application that changes before the license is issued isn't corrected.
The high end is
So-
not a $4 strip steak. I don't
But
want to break it to you.
that's not the issue here. Obviously, the issue is the board is concerned that they're not being told the truth about this place. And there might be explanations that can now be fixed,
Right.
but the burden is on you to try to explain why they shouldn't think that.
And I will tell you, I will take some of the blame on that menu because at that time, I probably said, I need a menu. If you want to file the application, we have to have a menu. Give us even a core menu, a basic menu. And, it's been the history. I've found that menus can change and the board's aware of that.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So I've been told that the Spanish interpreter has arrived, so I'm gonna recall 1138. That's Gastronomic Investment LLC.
Good morning.
Hello. One's the interpreter.
We gotta wait for the interpreter.
Where is the interpreter? You're the interpreter? Yeah, just put your name on the record and.
Oh, okay. My name is Kevin Cabato, the interpreter, Spanish.
And to tell him to put his name or.
My name is Sergio Radavero.
So we're going to ask you everything we say, obviously say to him, everything he says, say to us. Don't, word for word.
Okay.
Can he explain what happened here?
¿Usted puede explicar qué sucedió aquí?
Sí, en español, ¿no? Bueno, te explico a ti. Nosotros, tuve un problema con una empleada que se fue, nos hizo una denuncia, me dieron un parte y me enteré que...
¿No se hizo una denuncia qué?
una empleada, ex empleada, nos hizo una denuncia. Fui a la comisaría, nos dieron un parte y no sabía que tenía que avisar a la comisión del CORP.
Okay. He had an employee that left and put a denounce, and he didn't know that he had to come and report this.
Who was arrested?
He was.
But he was arrested for hitting the employee, which was a family member, correct?
¿Usted fue arrestado por golpear a esta empleada?
No, fue
un familiar.
No. Fui absuelto de todo porque era todo mentira. Tengo aquí el documento de la corte.
No, I was let go because everything was a lie. I have documents from the court.
So the case is now dismissed?
El caso ya fue.
Sí, lo tengo.
Yes.
Does he have the documents with him?
No, he
said he does.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Sorry?
All right, I'm good.
Yo no sabía que tenía que avisarle a ella.
Just remind him that should he get arrested again, which I obviously hope he doesn't, he has to report it to us immediately.
Si otra vez le arrestan, tiene que reportarle a ellos inmediatamente.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Donna, we're ready.
So on this is the request for reconsideration. Commissioner Fan,
I vote yes.
Commissioner Ford,
I vote yes.
and Commissioner.
I'll vote yes
Chairman.
and reactivate the temp as well.
Yeah, it has to go back to licensing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So reactivate the
So
temp.
tell him that he's going to get his temporary license back and the application will be further reviewed so he gets his permanent license.
Okay, pues votan para sí, para reactivarle y le van a dar una licencia temporaria hasta que se
He
revise.
needs to wait till he actually gets the permit before he starts selling again.
Tiene que esperar hasta que reciba su permiso para nuevamente vender. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We need you for another case.
Very well.
Thank you.
Apparently, a couple that have not been made aware of until now. He can actually stay up, the interpreter. So next is I'll call back up 150 and 175, Stop and Go Inc.
Europe again.
Apparently, he needs to stay up there too.
So go ahead and introduce yourself, your client, and then we'll let the interpreter.
My name is Daniel Pagano. I'm an attorney. My office is in White Plains, New York, 297 Norwood Road, Suite 300. And to my right is my client, Caesar Yankee, who is he's the owner of Stop and Go Inc., an establishment in downtown Peekskill Yard.
And can you put your name on the record again?
Yes. My name is Kevin Cabada, Spanish interpreter.
All right, this is the second call we have. So did you get the second charges?
Not yet, I apologize, but I don't know if it's very important because I didn't really intend to try to argue their culpability or their irresponsibility in a sense. They're inexperienced, my client. I don't think he understood some of the things I know, but that's his responsibility to know. So I'm not even trying to evade that. What I'm hoping to do is ask the board to give him one more chance to redeem himself.
I don't know that we're going to cancel the license.
Hold on. He's basically saying some things that his client is not going to do here. So that needs to be translated for him.
He is translating.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead. Just to be clear,
I want to make sure.
the interpreter is translating everything. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
just want to make sure he is. Okay.
Until talking to my client, I think that he did not understand that he should have understood. And I've told him that he needs to have perhaps myself or another attorney in town. He has to work with us to make sure he understands exactly what he can and can't do, and so these issues don't happen again. My client wasn't born in this country. He's an immigrant. He's worked very hard. He's put his life savings, over $30,000 into this business, and he's trying not to lose it. It's how he supports his family. Yes.
Understand your argument, but you don't need a lawyer to tell you that you can only sell alcohol to go. It's not that complicated.
I agree, but
he signed a letter that said that. He got charged once, and then he got charged again.
Correct.
So I don't know that he needs you on retainer for that.
Well,
he's here and he knows that now.
I told him he had to pay me that. I was going to actually sit down with him and go over everything so he understood exactly verbatim.
No, and perhaps he doesn't understand the ramifications of not following that. That I might believe. And the ramifications are the business could go up in smoke. But all right. So the CNC on the the first one.
The first one is the hearing.
1150 is a hearing, 3 charges. I'm going to sustain all the charges. Go ahead, Donald.
Commissioner Fan?
I mean, it looks like he's also delivering food. I mean, maybe he just needs to apply again and actually get the license for what he actually wants to do, which is
I did talk
run
to
a
him.
restaurant and
I did talk to him about that perhaps, I did.
you know, so I'm just saying that.
No, you're absolutely correct, and I think that's very, I did speak to him just outside saying that if there's other things you want to
Not in the right
do,
license class.
that we need to go get a license and perhaps apply for other things to encompass some of the things that, yes.
Eating place beer would be what he's operating as.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Right, on premises, yes.
Right.
I'm at 5,000.
Commissioner Ford?
I'm at 5,000 as well.
Chairman Bradley?
Thank you.
And for 1175?
I'll take another 5,000.
Commissioner Ford?
That's good. 1175. I was gonna go higher, but I'll do 5,000 as well.
Thank you.
Bradley?
I was gonna go to 10, but 5,000 it is. Go ahead. Thank you. So it's 5,000, 5,000.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Put me down for 10 on that though. Okay.
Thank you, commissioners.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I've been told.
We got one more case for you.
Now I got 3 more apparently. So I'd like to remind everyone that you're able, if you need an interpreter, please send a request to Secretary's office, secretaries.office@sla.ny.gov to make your request. We'll make sure the interpreter will be here. There's no reason why there should be multiple ones that I don't know.
Yeah, because if you come up and we didn't have the luxury of having one today, because nobody asked for it, your case is gonna get adjourned.
And so next is 1188A. That's Sterling 4001 LLC, and we'll need the interpreter for this one.
What number?
1188A.
Good morning, members of the authority. I apologize for not making the request, but he feels he just told me or I would have asked for it 2 weeks ago.
And this is a request from reconsideration from Secretary's office, as the licensee had made a request to adjourn. It was the Tuesday night before the meeting, but it was forwarded to me Wednesday morning, and I would have told you about the request.
From what mailbox?
So it was made to licensing.info, which is a licensing. It's the wrong one. It should be made to Secretary's office, but it eventually made its way to Secretary's office. But I missed it.
Have you ever requested adjournments here before?
I did, but it wasn't me. He requested it last minute because he wasn't feeling well. He had already contracted COVID and he didn't feel well.
He asked you to do it.
He asked me to forward it, but he had already sent it. So I said, well, let's see, because it's last minute. If it gets granted, it does, we'll do
This
it.
happens to you, though. It
Except,
doesn't.
Chairman, when I was secretary, Mr. Tavares has made requests for adjournments to Secretary's office. And in fact, I can recall one where we missed it. And we had to do the exact same thing we're doing here because Mr. Tavares had.
Well, that's the point I'm making. She knows where they should go. And she didn't do it. She let her client do it, and he sent it to the wrong place.
It was at the last hour, so I didn't think it would be granted. So I told him to, and sure enough, it was disapproved that day. So I told him, well, let's ask for reconsideration. So if it doesn't, he didn't feel well. So I didn't feel, because if it comes from me, I get screamed at. If it comes from him, I get
Can
screamed
you
at.
put his name on the record?
His name is Nicolas Loaiza, the applicant on the application. He's the owner, and we're here with Paola Alvarez. She's a proposed manager that we're adding to the application going forward. You should receive this application.
Can you put your name on the record, interpreter?
Yes, my name is Kevin Cabada, Spanish interpreter.
Okay.
It's technically before we move forward, we need to vote on request for reconsideration, whether to grant it since it was denied last meeting.
Right. Go ahead.
So Commissioner Fan?
This is just whether we're going to reconsider.
Whether you're going to reconsider to hear.
He did get the thing in to the SLA. It just didn't go, there's not 3 employees, there's 150, and he sent it to the wrong mailbox.
Like I said,
I'll vote to reconsider as well.
And Chairman Bradley?
I'll vote to reconsider.
Okay.
Thank you, members. Good morning. I'm here with the owner of Esquina Tequila. It's actually Starling 4101 LLC, a restaurant located at 4001 Northern Boulevard in Long Island City. Currently a restaurant operating with 1 a.m. closing hours and with 2 a.m. Friday, Saturdays, no DJs and no live music. The applicant is requesting DJ and live music from Thursday until Sundays with a 4 a.m. closing Friday, Saturdays. A review of the 500-foot report notes that there are only 5 licensed establishments within a 500-foot radius of the establishment, with only 3 with an on-premise liquor license in the area. 14 establishments in Astoria have the method of operation he is requesting. The restaurant is located on a commercial strip in Astoria, quasi-Long Island City on Northern Boulevard. There are no residents above or adjacent to the establishment, and the quality of life of the neighborhood would not be altered or negatively affected if the present application is granted. The owner, Nicolas Loaiza, has made some mistakes in the past from lack of experience, but 1 year since the filing of this application, we filed in almost September of last year, along with several months of closures and a mandatory SLA suspension, has taught this owner quite a bit. A little background on this location. The owner of this establishment was William Loaiza, his brother. He died as a result of the COVID-19 virus while he was operating the establishment. Nicolas was thrust into the operation of this establishment and faced many challenges. He didn't know much about the internal workings of a restaurant. He worked with his brother as a supervisor, but didn't know much about SLA laws and its workings. He had some issues with the changing of ownership that was resolved with the filing of letters testamentary. He is now the owner of the restaurant. Then he was fined with COVID violations. Again, the location was closed for some time until he could raise the funds and pay the fine to reopen the establishment. He's been through a lot. The loss of his brother, the almost loss of this business that supports his family, and the mounting debts because patrons are not returning to restaurants like they used to post-COVID. The granting of the present application would provide a lifeline to an ailing business. I repeat my statement that a Latino restaurant without music, and especially a Mexican restaurant without mariachi, you're only asking for a one-piece mariachi, might as well close its doors. The applicant has waited almost a year and a half for the present changes. He has not violated or had any issues with this establishment, and the SLA at this time to his detriment. He has not violated in any way, no food violations, no SLA violations, and no NYPD issues. He has followed the guidelines the SLA has posted and maintained an orderly establishment. There is no opposition from Queens Community Board 1 or the residents in the neighborhood. There are 2 letters of support, one from Assemblywoman Catalina Cruz and one from Senator Ramos. We're respectfully requesting that the SLA grant the changes in hours and the method of operation to permit DJ and live music on a limited schedule for Thursday through Sundays, and a change in the hours from 1 a.m. to 1 a.m. weekdays and a 4 a.m. for Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays. We're trying to keep these restaurants open. Patrons are not coming back the way they should or the way we would like them to. This method of operation was used with William Loaiza prior. The person who filed the original application failed to add it into the method of operation with his brother before he died. We're asking for these changes today because he's asked for them before. You asked us to come back 6 months. They weren't granted, and now we're coming back 6 months later requesting them again. I think he's shown that he can be a good neighbor, that he can be a good applicant, and that he can follow the rules even if he doesn't have the income to support it. So we ask today that this method of operation be granted, and we're here with the owner, Nicolas Loaiza, and he's even going to add a manager, Paola Alvarez, to make sure that this establishment continues to follow the rules and regulations.
So let's, and just so the record's clear, there was a summary here by us in 2020, of September of August of 2020. He worked at the establishment at that time. In fact, I think his brother passed away shortly after that.
No, I think he had already passed away.
Or he'd already passed away, but he was running the place when we did a summary. He did ask for these benefits previously, and they were denied. I guess the question I have, is he doing live music now?
We cannot, it's not on our license.
What'd you have? No?
I think it's all.
By live music, you just mean mariachi bands, that's it.
Mariachi and a 1 or 2 piece acoustic, like they do on Sundays during brunch and the other neighboring. We're not talking about a discotheque. It's never been run as a discotheque. He's not asking for those types of changes.
Wait, what?
Well, he asked for a DJ and karaoke. That's not
DJs,
a club.
it's not. DJ is an amenity that most of the restaurants have in New York and are requesting it on a daily basis.
Most may, but they're not, most are not most did not get a summary suspension by us.
We acknowledge that there were some mistakes made from lack of experience, but believe me, the lesson has been learned. A year without violating any of the mandates of SLA, almost losing this business. I think he knows what's at stake should he run a disorderly establishment.
For what it's worth, I was just looking at the summary suspension, and it was COVID-related violations and other violations, but I did not see them I don't think we charged them with operating outside of method.
Their hours were 4 a.m. before the summary suspension? Was this one of those where they got their hours changed?
Because the hours got changed in the corporate change application.
Right. Because of the summary.
Our hours were 4 a.m. closing all the way around, and then because of the summary suspension, our hours were changed to for the COVID, and then they asked us to come back to change our hours, and then they were extended again, and now we're requesting for our original hours if that's possible.
All right, I'm gonna vote to allow DJ, acoustic live band, and 4 a.m. on Friday, Saturday.
They're also asking for one more security guard.
That's fine. One more security.
And the days of the week, Commissioner Fan? The rest of the days?
I'm gonna stay with
1 a.m.?
1 a.m. Sunday to Thursday, 4 a.m. Friday, Saturday.
That's it.
No karaoke? They're asking for karaoke.
Security guard?
No karaoke.
Yeah, they want karaoke. I don't know.
Want karaoke? Yeah, karaoke.
Okay, got it.
Thank you.
Commissioner Ford?
I wasn't so thinking about the karaoke, but the 4 a.m. on Friday and Saturdays only. I'm right with Commissioner Fan on that one. And the 2 more guards.
Can we add security here if necessary?
We have security, so a couple
Okay.
more, and you really
So
haven't had any-
seguridad para esos días, tú sabes, esos días fuertes.
There's no real history that anything's happened even with just the 1 guard, am I correct?
No.
I don't think so. So I'll go along with that too as Commissioner Fan.
You're okay with the music? Did I miss that?
And the music, yes, too.
Okay. Yeah. Chairman Riley?
I'm just voting affirmatively on the security guards and the live music. No DJ, no karaoke, and 2 a.m. close across the board.
So, I'm sorry, so what is it finally, guys?
It's 1 and 4.
Okay, so vas a tener la 1 y la 4. Entonces, DJ, acoustic y karaoke, right?
Commissioner Ford?
Yes.
Yeah, 1 and 4.
Thank you, members of the authority.
And the interpreter? Yep, oh, yeah. Yeah, you're gonna need to stand up there, I'm sorry.
Want a chair? Want a chair?
So next is 1174 TRIUNFO TAVERNA CORP.
If you need me to slow down or anything, let me know.
Yeah, sure. Sounds good.
See, that's right. Good morning, everyone. I'm Scott Lockwood. I represent the respondents in this matter. El
Please
Triunfo.
speak up.
My name is Scott Lockwood. I represent El Triunfo, the respondents in this matter. Good morning.
Can you put his name on the record?
Sure. This is Jose Alvarez, that he is the manager there, and he is also the husband of Neri Menendez, who is the licensee.
And then interpreter, can you put your name on the record?
Kevin Cabado, Spanish interpreter.
Thank you.
I submitted a memorandum. Did it go through? Did
Yes.
everyone? Okay.
Thank you.
Does anybody want me to add anything to it? I can certainly be much less coherent than that if you need me to be.
I mean, I think that you're trying to make a point that they are serving food now. Is that accurate?
That was one of the complaints. They have brought everything into compliance. So we submitted pictures, we submitted documentary evidence to show that they are in compliance.
Okay.
And that they are taking this as seriously as they should.
Okay, just because these food receipts are still like January of 2020, it's not showing me what's happening now.
There should have been the later ones were a little more difficult to read. There are 2 packets. It's not just the first set. There was a second set as well.
I see the alcohol purchase receipts, but the food receipts are all from almost at this point 2 years ago now.
Yeah, no, it's not just the El Papuzo, I believe it was. There's also another one from.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like
Correct.
these ones that's not printing.
Yeah, I apologize for the quality of that. Those are the more up-to-date ones.
All right. Do you guys have questions?
I mean, I get, this is a restaurant, correct, Tom?
Yeah.
So I get that the money is better by selling as much alcohol as you can and not worrying about the food. And I'm talking to him at this point, but he's going to lose his business if he continues down this road. This is a restaurant. If he doesn't want to be a restaurant.
It's licensed as a tavern.
Okay. But he needs to have food. And he doesn't have to sell it, but he has to have it. You understand what I'm saying?
No, I understand. And apparently it is actually doing pretty well, some of the food stuff. So they're certainly been encouraged to keep it. So.
And then he has to stop with the liquor store purchases. And listen, I get it. You can go into a liquor store and buy a bottle cheaper than you can get it from the wholesaler. Completely understand it. Unfortunately, it is not legal.
Correct. It has been explained. He didn't have anybody guiding him with the legal and regulatory stuff. He does have this now, so they will be in compliance.
Is he running it or is she running it?
She runs it. He just manages it. It's really both of them together.
And what are their hours now?
That I don't know off the top of my head. What are the hours?
9 p.m. to 4 a.m.
How are they serving dinner if they're open from 9 to 4?
Well, they don't have to serve dinner because
I
they're
know,
a tavern.
but he just said that they're doing really well on the food.
I would note that the hours in the original application were 1 p.m. to 2 a.m. on Mondays, 1 p.m. to 3 a.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays, 1 p.m. to 4 a.m. on Friday through Sunday.
But we didn't put any stipulations on it.
No, but if they put that in the application, that's what's approved.
But they don't have to open at 1. We don't usually
No, right.
make a
Yeah,
big
I
deal
don't care
about
when
when
they
you
open.
open.
No.
Closing is more of an issue
Alright.
for us usually.
All right.
But you're open from 9 to, what time did you say again?
9 to 4.
It's a bar, a neighborhood bar.
It's a bar tavern, I guess.
All right.
So you're going to be continuing to work with this family?
Yeah, if they need any help, they know they can call me and I'll work them through it.
Okay.
They haven't been giving me any gray hair lately, so that's
Or us.
15,000.
Commissioner Ford
I was at 10,000.
and Chairman Bradley.
Yeah, sustain all the this is that hearing, right? Default?
Yeah, it's a default
It's
at
a
hearing.
sustain all the charges, and I'm at 10,000. Good luck.
You'll get a letter. with
Okay.
that. All right.
Thank you. Have a good day, everyone, and stay well.
Thanks for coming in.
And good luck.
All right, so next one that needs an interpreter. It's 1179 TEMEZKAL NY Corp.
Wow.
Good morning, members of the authority. My name is Michael James. I'm appearing for the, no, he's fine. I'm appearing for the licensee. I just learned that my client mixed up the dates. She thought that tomorrow was the 27th instead of today. So I'm kindly asking for an adjournment to 8/17.
8/17.
I don't have a problem with this. I mean,
Hold on.
Can you
Let me
proceed?
just check. Hold on.
No.
Yeah, she's not here.
No.
It's not disciplinary.
No.
It's a license.
1179.
Right. Okay. I was okay with it too. No DJ, no live music. Are you
Yeah.
okay with 4 a.m. and new bar, but no DJ, no live music?
Yeah, that's it.
No, they need to come in.
That's all we were asking for.
We don't need your vote now.
fine. Go ahead.
You can deny it. I'm fine with that. Are you good with it or no? If you want them to come in, they can come in.
I'm fine. I had no problem.
All right, so I'll approve 4 AM and with the additional bar.
Thank you.
Keep your vote as holdover.
no
if you
DJ
want.
and
And then no DJ, no live music.
Right.
No DJ, no live music.
no dancing.
I know. Yeah. Okay, thank you. I'll be.
You just tell her what a great rep you are, you know
I
that.
will. I will. Thank you so much.
Because it's a neighborhood bar.
Okay, so this one we do need I believe we still need the interpreter for. It's 1173 Maracas Bar Corp. Do we need the interpreter?
Yes, we do.
Okay. I'll give you the same spiel. I think you just arrived to send the request to secretary's office.
I was actually watching it and said, not a problem for next time.
She added herself onto this principal, and now the two of them. And then the first one removed herself, and then now she's running the.
But we don't have any problems with it.
I'm just saying that we can.
That's
What number is this?
1173.
Ready for the applicant Marcotti and Associates by Louis Gisari. Good morning, everybody. Mr. Romano originally had this case and offered.
Can you put your name on it, Kevin?
Kevin Cabada, Spanish interpreter.
And put your name. Nicolas. You can say your name. You can say your name.
Nicolas Hamate.
Mr. Romano originally had this case and put in a CNC. It was then adjourned for the licensee to be here, and Mr. Romano referred the case to me. And then he realized he could be here.
I know.
He thought he had a conflict, but he left.
I hope you're both not on the clock today for this.
No, now it's just me. I understand the signage issues were resolved. I believe I watched the last hearing. It was something about a heroin overdose was the questions.
And all the workers are drunk.
Well, that's.
And he was drunk.
Yes.
The licensee and his manager were both intoxicated.
Yes, I have sat with them since Mr. Romano has referred this to me and spoken to them sternly about that's not a.
No, and this is we've gotten 2 letters from Mr. Romano saying that he'll fix it, and nothing got fixed.
Again, I can't comment about Mr. Romano. I know Bob.
No, it's not his job to fix it, but my point being that I'm sure when he wrote the letter that he'll fix it, the guy told him he would fix it, and he never did.
Well, I have gotten involved also with the city of White Plains. There was also some outstanding violations that were tickets that were issued that night. I'm with them in court dealing with the city attorney and the district attorney's office, resolving those also. We have come to a conclusion that's going to end up with a adjournment and contemplation of dismissal. I know Chairman Bradley, you know what that is. So I'm taking a little more active role. I'm not saying Mr. Romano wasn't, but moving forward, there are some other issues that need to be rectified with the city that I'm taking an active role in.
Okay. All right.
Ready to vote? Yep. Commissioner Fan?
My counter at 15,000.
Commissioner Ford?
I'll do 15,000 as well.
And Chairman Bradley?
10,000. I'll take the CNC.
The counter offer of 15,000.
We don't need to send the letter, well, send it anyway, but we will accept that counter offer right now on the record. I guess just send out, I would say, the penalty letter at that point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Still will. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Next, I don't believe we don't need the interpreter anymore, correct?
Thank you.
All right, thank you for all your work. You can go
Unless
home.
you just want to hang around. No, just kidding.
Next is 1131. That's New Oriental Guyana Restaurant, Inc.
Good afternoon. Robert Romano. It turned out I did not have a scheduling conflict. We presented to you an offer, a conditional no contest offer of $7,000 as satisfaction in full of charges.
11:31 that was, I'm sorry.
Yeah. We're ready, Don.
All right, Commissioner Fan?
Oh, she's
I mean,
checking
he continues to have a DJ. Why is that?
That evening of April 24th, the company that was there, there was a table throwing a party, and apparently they brought in their own DJ. The DJ was not hired by or an employee of the establishment. It was with their knowledge, granted, and for that, they were wrong. There has not been a DJ there since that night. There has not been hookah since that night. There have been no noise complaints to my knowledge and to their knowledge since that night.
There was a summary suspension here before?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not on the
That
agenda
was a
sheet.
COVE.
Number 2 was a summary suspension in our adverse history.
Right. I mean, I would ask for a chance here that, with the full understanding that any deviation from total compliance would end up with a fate they would not be happy with.
I'm sure that's what you said last time too. 2 sale to minor, 1 summary suspension. It's not looking great.
$33,500 in fines so far.
I know.
I'll accept 7,000.
Commissioner Ford?
So now it's 40,500.
Yeah.
I'll accept as well.
I'll accept.
Thank you very much, everyone.
So this next one, I'm unsure if the applicant's actually here. It's 1169 Q&B FH LLC. Because I did get an adjournment request from the attorney for
Who's the
until August
attorney?
17. It's not Mr. Buscemi. Are you?
No, I'm in opposition.
Opposition?
For 2 of the 4 closest stores.
Applicants requesting to adjourn?
Yeah, it was so I was just seeing if they got a new attorney.
Well, what do you want to do? You can put your guys on the record here or come back.
Let me.
When did we get that? Yesterday?
That was Monday.
What's the adjourn date?
8/17.
They can put themselves on the record now.
Right, whatever you want.
All right, unfortunately, my client would like to come back, but he's going to be overseas on that.
Okay.
day, So
go ahead.
All right. All right, again, I'm representing AMP Winery, Inc. and Club 288 Liquor, Inc. In opposition to the application, with me today is Mr. Protopappas. He's the owner of AMP Winery, and Mr. Singh, who's the owner of Club 288 Liquor. The applicant wants to open up.
Oh, okay, got it.
Excuse me?
No, never mind, go ahead.
AMP Winery is the closest store to the applicant. It's, the Liquor Authority has it as 236 feet from the applicant. Mr. Protopappas actually did a Google measurement. He gets it down as about 158 feet from the applicant. Suffice it to say that either way, it's extremely close.
How big is his store?
It's a little under 400 square feet. The applicant store is located on the same street, 71st Avenue, as AMP Winery. Club 288, that's located half a mile from the applicant. The applicant's looking for a 1,600 square foot store with 1,500 square feet devoted to retail space. Within 1 mile of the applicant, we have 11 existing retail liquor stores. As noted in Mr. Protopappas's letter to the Liquor Authority, Exhibit A, and his gross sales letter, his sales over the last 19 months have seen a dramatic increase each month.
Decrease.
Decrease. I said increase, I'm sorry, decrease.
You don't know what side you're on.
Decrease.
Sometimes I
Come on. Decrease, from previous years. He attributes that there's been many vacancies right on 71st Avenue in the immediate area of the store. These, many of which were retail anchor businesses that drove the retail trade in this area. We have 2 pharmacies, Rite Aid and Duane Reade, that have closed. Victoria's Secret, Starbucks, Buffalo Wild Wings, Aldo Shoes, 2 banks, Capital One and HSBC, all in the immediate area, many of which are on 71st Avenue. And this has happened within the last 2 years. Due to that, there's been a loss of a lot of retail trade. And Mr. Protopappas will speak more specifically to the decline in his sales. We have Club 288. If you review their gross sales figures from 2017, it's had little growth. It goes up a little, goes down a little. It's basically been stagnant since 2017. AMP does have an extensive selection of wines, as does 288 Liquors, wines, spirits, kosher wines. Mr. Protopappas is familiar. He's been in this store for 11 years. He's familiar with the existing liquor stores in the area, and he knows them to also have nice selections of wines and liquors. I've given you demographic report and a zip code report. When you look at the demographic report, you'll see from within a quarter-mile radius, you'll see from 2010 to 2021, there's been an increase of 257 people. All right, and then when you look at the projected growth through 2026, between 2021 and 2026, there's going to be a decline of over 4% or 398 people less within that quarter mile, brings it back down to the 2010 population or less. When you look at a half a mile radius from the applicant, we see the same thing. Between 2010, 2021, there was an increase of only 722 people within a half mile radius. And the projections going through to 2026 show a decrease of over 1,400 people within that half mile radius, again, bringing it down below 2010 population levels. The report also shows, demographic report also shows there have been few homes built since 2010. We have a 1.6% of all existing homes have been built between 2010 and 2021. That's it. There's only one apartment building that we know of that's being built, and that's a small apartment building of about 20 apartments that's in the area, and that's not going to be completed for about 2 years. When you look at the zip code data, it shows the same thing. You look at the zip code data, and the population shows, the graph shows a declining population. It also, I gave you the chart for housing, the housing graph by zip code for Forest Hills, and that also shows almost no new building construction since 2009. Again, I can't talk to what the applicant is going to say, unfortunately, with regard to its method of operation, but I believe from what you can see about the decline or the slow growth of population through 2021 and then projected decline, no building going on in the area, the loss of substantial retail business, the area is adequately served by what already exists as far as the existing retail liquor stores. Mr. Protopappas would like to make a brief statement.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, rest of the board. I'm just going to basically say something similar to what my attorney said. The liquor store that is the new proposed liquor store that's trying to open up next to me is less than 200 feet from my existing store. And that's very concerning. My business in the last year and a half, actually 19 months, has gone down around 15% consecutively since the year before. Between 2020 and 2021, my liquor stores have dropped 400,000. In 2022, which is current, my liquor stores are continually dropping at a rate of 15% from the year before. I mean, it's a pretty significant drop, and it's a little concerning. I don't know if another liquor store would justify, and if a new proposed liquor store on the same block as mine is to open up, which is literally like 4 times bigger than my store, it'd probably have.
How big is, how many lanes are in 71st Avenue? Is it just 2 lanes?
Just 2 lanes.
One each way?
One in each way. Yeah, and then that 71st Avenue, the last literally year and a half, we've had a lot of big staple stores that have gone out of business. Yeah, Rite Aid, Duane Reade, Buffalo Wild Wings, Starbucks, all these big chains, Capital One just recently, have all shut down permanently. So, I mean, that's another reason why maybe the traffic has gone down. I mean, if these big corporate companies can't stay in business, adding another liquor store.
You only have a 376
Definitely.
square foot store?
My store is less than 400 square feet.
Wow.
Yes, it's 376
Let
square
me tell
feet.
you, hats off to
That's
you, because
correct.
you're doing numbers that are comparable
We-
with Club 288, which has 2,000 square feet, so.
I appreciate it.
Location, 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 I
Yes,
guess,
that's
right?
what they say.
So,
I know it's a small store.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really compare it to a big store, which is 2,000 square feet. But my store is the way it's presented, the way it's laid out. One liquor store that has 2,000 square feet may have one bottle that has 25 bottles of the same thing.
Yeah.
My store has 3 bottles of the same bottle. So we have a huge variety, over 400 different types of liquors and wines, an ample amount that would serve our local Jewish community. So I don't know if opening up another liquor store or a new liquor store would justify, with all these changes.
Okay. Your concerns are duly noted
The
here.
concerns, yeah. They, not that, I don't know the owner per se, but they did contact me numerous times to try to purchase my liquor store. I kindly declined. I'm assuming that's probably why they're trying to open up a liquor store now, but I don't know. I'm not. I'm a concerned business owner.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. You guys want to speak
Thank
or
you.
no?
Thank you.
You represent all three of these guys, Mr. Buscemi?
Yeah,
This-
he's my
this-
son.
again,
This is Mr. Singh's son.
Oh, all right.
And
Okay.
just to clarify, when
Yeah.
Mr. Protopapa said they approached him, he believes it to be the husband of the applicant that was approaching him
Okay.
to buy the store.
Okay.
Not the applicant itself.
All right, thank you. You
my
can
son-
say something if you want.
Same statement as my lawyer say and Mr. Vinno. If they opening another store, I know is my sales should be going to be decrease. My kids is growing up, they're going college. My daughter's sons. I think it's like too expensive for me if my income goes low for them if they open up another liquor store in this area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
you.
All
You're
right,
welcome.
thank you for coming in. You gentlemen will not have to come back again. We got you. Okay?
All right, we thank you for your consideration.
Held over to August
Yeah,
17th.
and
correct?
Mr. Buscemi, you're obviously welcome to come.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
To answer their responses, I don't want to hear your whole spiel again, but.
No,
yeah.
good, I appreciate it, and I think I'm going to be here, I think might have a DR on. And best of luck to Mr. Meyerhoff.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure working with you.
Pleasure. Thank
Take
you.
care.
Thank you. All right,
Tell
somebody,
Mr. Mailer I give him my regards as well.
I will.
I want to do a second call for 1170 A1 Liquors Inc. I believe the applicant is here now.
Terrence Flynn on behalf of the applicant. I understand that there's opposition, so if you let them speak first, and then I'll rebut.
Sure. Opposition?
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioners, members. I am Fatin Jabor, the owner, president of Diku Wine and Spirits. I hope you received all the documentation that I emailed to you, and unfortunately, it fell into my hands, something that I would love you to see, but I did not have time to submit it. I'm here on a factual basis. It's my 7th year of business. As you are aware, I don't have to repeat it, but I'll just briefly go through it. Everyone is at a financial loss. Many reasons and factors come into play. The recent economic crisis, shipment issues, allocation allotments, shortage of inventory of products, price increases of product inventory, inflation. In the last year, we lost over $115,000 in profits. I attached a letter from the accountant, Robert Saunders. I hope you were able to review that. Also, as you're aware, in the last 5 years in Mud Suffolk Quorum community, they have not built houses. They have not built communities, minus the exception of 2 senior citizens communities that have been built, one of them an assisted living senior citizen community. which I was actually proud to have been honored with their request of being the first person to deliver to them for their functions. So the name of that place is All Assisted Living, which is actually across the street from the store that wants to open up now. The letter that I did want you to see is from a company called CoStar. They track housing markets. The average rent growth in Mid-Suffolk Quorum in the last 3 years is only 24.4%. In the last year, it's only 7%. I'm aware of the fact that the person who wants to open up their liquor store said that the population of Quorum increased. It's not really an increase. The vacancy rate is only 1.2%. They're relocating within the Quorum Suffolk community because the rent increases have gone up 17 to 28%. I live 1 mile from my store. My rent went up 18%, and that's after I begged the community owner to keep it at 18%. Otherwise, the rent would have went up 650%. Across the street from where they want to open up their store is a church. Their front entrance is only 200 feet away from where they want to open up the store. I attached the hours of operation of the church. I'm not sure if you received it, but I do have the hours if you need to see that. The cost of living index is 151.9 in 2019. This is higher than the US average of 100. And that's according to city data and the US consensus. 8% are living in poverty. Quorum alone is 5%. I'm here with some of the other liquor store owners. I'm the closest to the proposed location. I'm less than 0.4 miles away. I also attached photos of my store. It was hand built from scratch inside the store. It gives a family vibe. Everybody calls it the heart of Quorum. They call us family. I would like more time to be able to grow my business. I do realize the last time I was here with the same person trying to open up the store, I had just opened up my doors and you allowed me to continue to thrive. Unfortunately, no one can predict COVID, inflation, and anything that's going on right now. I also attached the gross sales letter, which reflects how the increase was good in 2020, but we were the only liquor store open in our area, and that's why we had that. We did deliveries. We opened from opening to closing without fail 7 days a week. We did deliveries to communities outside the area, within the area, but unfortunately in the last 2 years, the sales have gone down and they continue to go down. We recently were on the COD for months because we just can't keep up with the rising costs of inventory. I guess I'll let everyone else speak.
Your store is?
Yes.
Deco?
Deco, yes, Deco.
Right. Nice pictures in your package. I can
Thank you.
actually see them. A lot of them we can't, but no, it looks like a nice store.
Yeah, it literally was built from scratch. It still smells like the wood that it was built in the store. And we have an organic section. We have a zero sugar section. We have a section where people who are on diets, you know, like Fit Vine wine and all these, with Christina Brinkley's wine. We have, or I said already, organic. We have such a wide variety that we are told from people who come from Shirley even, and they come from, you know, all over. Like, we love your store. It's such a beautiful store. We love your selection. We're always willing to go to the extra mile and add things to our inventory if it's affordable and at the right price. I mean, I also wanted to make one note. I didn't want to go tit for tat, but I did request the letter that was sent by the person who wants to open up the store, and I noticed they had 80 signatures on a petition. The petition's not dated. That's number one. Number two, there's multiple addresses, signatures from the same address, multiple signatures from the same address. Some of those are my customers for the past 6 years. And when I asked them, had they signed a petition, they said, we didn't know what we were signing. So I'm not sure if those 80 signatures are valid signatures, being that more than 20 of them are my customers and they had no idea they were signing up to say another liquor store should be opened by La Bistro. But my main concern is to allow us to, you know, we're local to our community, we deliver in our community, we haven't had growth in our community, people are leaving our community.
Oh, now you're starting to repeat.
But,
Yeah, I just wanted to repeat at the end. You're fine, thank you.
But in their defense, you know, they could just have been asked to sign something to support a new business in the community, and like, and who wouldn't sign that, you know?
I don't, and that's what my point is. They signed it without realizing. No, of course not.
I'm just supporting someone else's effort to make a living.
And I don't want to cut the feet off of anyone who wants to open up a new business. He owns a beautiful deli. He knows my face. I've eaten at his store before. But he has a deli that's huge already. He's already making his income for the last, I don't know when he opens up his doors. But he's 0.4 miles away from me. That's too close to comfort. And his street, Middle Country Road, has good flowing traffic. Unfortunately, 112 doesn't have that great flow of traffic where I'm located. So I just wanted to take you to take some of that into consideration. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Parmjit Kaur. I am the manager of Southern Wine and Liquors. As my opposing colleague said, he owns a deli. He's already making income. My income has declined over the past 2 years over, I would say, about $30,000 due to increase in rent, increase in inventory, which we are back ordered. We're not getting any of our products due to the pandemic. And I would like for him not to open it because solely I'm a single mother. I have to raise my son on my own, and I have nieces and nephews that live off of this income. I have my own mortgage to pay. And people are coming in, but slowly they are decreasing in my sales. I can't even get the products that we need in order to keep my store up. And that's all I can say is like, he has a deli, he already has an income. What more does he
Name of your
need?
store again?
Southern Wine and Liquors.
I'm sorry, what did you say about not being able to get products?
Like we're almost on back order. Due to the pandemic, they don't have inventory. Our vendors don't have inventory. The products that we need in order for me to run my store.
Okay.
And that's all that I can say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, how are you? I'm the management of the 268 Middle Country Liquors.
Which is the store?
268 Middle Country Liquor Inn.
Okay.
I'm the management there.
Ma'am, you have to speak up. No, don't touch. You have to speak up though.
Yeah. I think I'm the second lead store of about the new store. So if they open the new store there, I think my business, it will be going down. So that's why I'm coming here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Flynn. You guys can sit down if you want.
With regard to the demographics, we gave you the zip code report, and it shows that over the last 10 years, the occupancy within this zip code has increased by over 13%. And that's not simply just people relocating, that's the increase. You have that in 2013, there were 25,603 people. That has grown by over 3,427 people within this zip code. My client, when he obtained the signatures by asking if people would want a liquor store at that location. For someone to say that they didn't know what they were signing, I can't speak to that, but he was very clear as to what they were signing, and those petitions were made available to you. His location is within a strip mall. They have parking. They have approximately 20 spots, which would be convenient to those customers who come to the deli or anywhere else within that strip mall to shop. With regard to the other liquor stores within the area, Middle Country, the last store who just told you their sales would go down, their sales were $1.8 million in the last year. The other stores have sales of over $500,000 each. The applicant has experience as a licensee from the authority. He's also willing to use an age verification system for all of his customers because he knows this is a concern of the authority when they seek to grant a license within an area to make sure that no one is going to violate the law by serving to minors. He intends to do tastings at the location as well as provide customers with information regarding pairings of wine to food and certain liquors to food as they go. In conclusion,
Is he aware that we denied a store in the same location a couple years ago?
yes,
Same strip mall.
same strip mall. But again, I don't know what those people presented to you. I don't know if they told you that or if they knew that the the demographics were going up in the area, if they had experience as a licensee, or if they knew that the sales, or presented to you that the sales of these locations that are objecting were all over $500,000 and up to $1.8 million in the case of that last store that came before you, Middle Country Liquors.
We added 2 stores in the area within the last 3 years back when we denied this, when just the chairman and I were here.
In the area, yes.
Yes, and we didn't see any increase in population or.
And that's why I gave you the data that I gave you. The data is clear in that it shows that the population rose in 2013 from 25,603 to the present number in 2022 to 3,420, by 3,427 people, which is a 13.38% growth.
Is that in your submission, Mr. Flynn?
It is. It's the Exhibit A in the exhibit. It starts off, it says 29030, and that's the current.
Oh, I got it, yeah. All right.
From here? 30 minutes. 20 minutes. Okay. 9 months.
Have any questions?
I don't.
Ready to vote? Ready? All right, Commissioner Fan?
Yeah, this is just literally down the road from the next store over, and I'm not really seeing numbers to justify another store, so I'm gonna vote to deny.
Commissioner Ford?
The closest stores, their numbers are they're just hovering. I don't really see, I mean, the population may have gone up, as you made your point, I get that, but I don't see that the demand has gone up as well. So I just don't see it here, so I'm gonna have to vote to deny as well.
And Chairman Bradley?
I'm going to vote to deny as well. As as Commissioner Ford pointed out, there was a store that was denied in this exact mall in 2017, and at that time, we did point out that the population did appear to be increasing, but that the numbers did not support that the demand was increasing, and I still don't see that happening. They clearly had a bump in 2020 because of COVID, but as we know, most liquor stores did, and then they seemed to fall back into basically the consistent sales that they were having. So I don't see the need for another one at this time.
Thank you very much. I'd like to wish you all luck, Mr. Moloff, in the
Thank you.
future.
Thank you.
So next up is 1184, that's Ross Code Lounge Corp.
Good morning, Francis Buscemi for the licensees. I have a series of a few of these cases on, most of which are misdemeanors I'm covering for. This is a $2,000 offer in compromise.
I'll accept 2,000.
I'll accept.
Commissioner Ford?
I was gonna do 1,000. I thought it was spontaneous and the guard was released, but I guess 2,000 it is.
Next is 1139, that's Mo Gourmet Deli Corp.
This is a $7,000 CNC offer.
I'm gonna counter at 15,000.
Commissioner Ford?
I'm sorry, what number was that again?
1139.
1139.
What did you come up with, Commissioner Fan?
15,000.
Yeah, I'll do 15,000.
I was gonna counter at 10.
So it's 15,000.
10?
I heard 2 votes for 15,000.
Yeah.
Yes, it's 2 for 15.
So next is 1129 BERMEO Food Corp.
This is a $7,500 offer.
1149.
1129. Sorry.
I'll accept 7,500.
Commissioner Ford.
Spend it once, paid 15,000 under. Yeah, I'll take the 7,500 as well.
And Chairman Bradley.
I'll accept as well.
So I have 1154. That's Brown Sugar Bar and Restaurant Inc.
And this is a $3,500 civil offer.
I'm gonna go to 2,500.
I would appreciate that.
1154.
1154. Commissioner Ford.
I was gonna accept the 3,500.
Chairman Bradley.
I will go to 2,500 as well.
I'll do 2,500.
Okay, thank you. All right, have a good day.
Thanks.
Next is 1168 Isabel 196 Spring LLC.
Thomas Burke from the Law Office of Stacy L. Weiss. With me is the applicant, Mr. Philip Guaglione. This is an application for a transfer of a restaurant wine license on Spring Street in Manhattan.
What number are we?
1168.
Cola Cucina.
So the community board came out pretty strongly against your client.
Yes, they don't like him.
And while they didn't really delve into specifics, it appears that they have major issues with the way he's operating his other places.
He has a place around the corner, one place on Tompkins Street. But I have to tell you that from along Spring, Sullivan, Thompson, West Broadway, restaurants are right next to each other. The place on Thompson has a restaurant next door, 2 restaurants across the street.
Well, I'm familiar with the neighborhood.
So there's there's so much noise and there's so much music. Everybody has an outdoor space. Everybody has a dining structure in the roadway. I mean, I don't know how they attribute all the noise to him. I mean, he doesn't.
All you gotta do is walk by a place to figure out who's the loudest. It's not that difficult.
I mean, I walk there every Saturday night, Mr. Chairman. It is difficult. I pass there every Saturday night.
That's not really a glowing endorsement. If you're basically what you're telling me is everybody is too loud.
It's just loud.
And your guys'
I mean, all of those things together make it loud. I don't know if any individual is too loud, but I mean, it's just it's like a bazaar of restaurants. And then there are people standing around waiting for tables. They're talking loud.
Can he talk to us?
Sure.
Yes. In your estimation, what's the complaints that they're having against you?
Why the people stay outside, maybe for the table, stay in the sidewalk, but I do just do barrier for
You have open windows?
Yes, all the night time, between 4, 11, 10:35. Anyway, you have a table outside, for the permit.
And they're all...
Our restaurant in Seoul is very popular, right? Do a lot of cover. So sometimes people stay on the line. But right now it's almost 2 years, do the barrier, people stay online. Just on front Dominique Cancel. So our restaurant, Dominique Cancel, is the most popular restaurant in Soho area. So people
What's the other restaurant's name?
Dominique Cancel, the big chef, Dominique Cancel. Is our both restaurants on the line.
What are your hours?
Right now operate between 4:30, 11, between Monday to Friday. Friday, Saturday, 12, but never close at 12, maybe 11:30.
Okay.
And Sunday, 11.
That's actually not that much different from what the community board is asking for.
No, they just are clearly angry.
They don't like
It's
him.
not everybody, only 4 people.
His personality is somewhat gruff.
You own...
We only laugh because that's what they say about him, too.
Well, yeah.
Okay, Donald.
All right, Commissioner Fan.
I'm gonna vote to approve adopting all of community board's suggested stipulations. 11 p.m. Sunday to Thursday, midnight Friday, Saturday. No TV, not a lounge, not a tavern, not a sports bar. Sidewalk cafe only until 11. Close all doors and windows by 9 p.m. every night. Ambient recorded background music only. No unlimited drinks or food. No boozy brunch, no bottle service. No DJs, no dancing, no live music, no promoted events, no cover fee events.
Commissioner Ford?
I'll agree, same terms.
And Chairman Bradley?
I'll agree to the same term.
Okay, those terms are fine with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much for it.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Next is 1144 Liquid Assets Ocean Hill LLC.
This is an application to changing class of a retail license. With me is the licensee, Nigel Frankson, and his manager, Brian Cho. They would like to be heard in support of their application.
Good morning, members of the authority. If I could describe our wine shop to you, Liquid Assets carries what I would consider an unconventional wine inventory that caters to a niche population with eccentric preferences. We're hoping to replicate this niche on the liquor side of the business for the local population, and this comes at the request of our customers. We have a petition with 2,400 signatures that I brought with me here today, essentially asking for us to carry liquor and to curate it in a similar way in which we do wine. Through customer engagement, we've uncovered demand for sustainably farmed producers, small batch producers, local Brooklyn-based producers of whiskey, cognac, and vodka in particular. Producers such as Van Brunt Stillhouse, Fort Haves Spirits, Michel Couvreur, just to name a few. Now, look, a properly licensed retailer can resell anything they want. There isn't anything that we can resell that they can't resell. But I firmly believe that our customer base is different. The conversations we're having with our customers are different than the conversations they're having with their customers. The tastes are different, the demand is different. Finally, I'd like to emphasize that our business model would not change. We are never going to be the store that opens late, and we're never going to be the store that carries the small form factor bottles, colloquially referred to as nips. We simply want to do in liquor for the neighborhood what we're already doing in wine for the neighborhood, which is to broaden the palette of options in a very specific way.
So when we granted the license in 2019, were there any stipulations on it, or were there any claims as to?
I think they bought the wine store. We granted that store in 2011.
Okay.
And they bought the store in 2019, right?
Not exactly. We didn't buy them. They went out of business essentially, and we kind of just took over the lease.
Okay.
Took over the lease.
Yeah.
Was this a corporate transfer, Tom, or?
Wait a minute.
You were cleanly licensed by full board?
I'm sorry, let me be more specific because we are in court. We didn't take over the lease. They went out of business, they vacated the premise. We approached the landlord and said, hey, we would like to lease
But
this
how
store.
did you get your license?
Did you appear before the board?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
You did?
Yes.
In 2019?
Yes.
It wasn't a transfer.
All right, so he requested a wine store because there was a wine store there.
That went out of business.
Yes.
So what has changed since 2019?
The conversations that we've been having with our customers. Because we are a quirky wine store, if you will, with a very eccentric mix of inventory, things that you won't find at the neighborhood wine stores, and I checked for both wine and liquor. I checked as recently as last night.
What are the liquor that you will carry that other people don't have?
Well, from the producers that I just mentioned, Van Brunt, Van Brunt, Stillhouse, Fort Haves Spirits. Again, it's small batch, it's locally produced, etc. The majority of what I see at the other shops are your Hennessy's, your E&J, your Absolutes, your Bacardi. We're not interested in carrying any of that.
So we did just license a store near you. Lenny's, is it?
Lenny's, yes.
Yeah.
Bulletproof, though.
There, are you sure?
Partially bulletproof.
Yeah, you have to use a buzzer to get in.
You okay?
But, and due to the size of your store, Adam.
All right, Donald, I think
They didn't
we're ready.
protest, though.
And no one, well, they weren't sent a
Well,
letter.
I'm
either.
questioning whether everybody gets.
They weren't sent a letter because they just opened.
Right.
So.
All right, Donald, I
bet
think
you
we're
they would
ready.
have protested.
All
if
right,
they didn't.
Commissioner Fan,
I'm gonna vote to approve.
Commissioner Ford,
I'm going to vote to approve as well.
and Chairman Bradley.
I'm going to vote to approve as well. The three of the four closest are bulletproof stores, and this is obviously an open store that appears to be filling a niche in this neighborhood. So I think there is public convenience and advantage.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yep.
Mr. Meyerhoff, the best of luck, and thanks for all of that. Just hopefully.
Really? Very welcome.
Did you help?
Apparently.
Next is 1178, GARREC NYC LLC.
Good morning once again. Michael James appearing for the licensee. With me today is the owner, Eddie LeGarrec, and we are applying for removal to 61 West 23rd Street. As you are all aware.
Sorry, are you opposition?
Oh, yeah, they are, is opposition.
No.
Is it?
Greetings, Chairman Bradley, commissioners and board members. My name is Joseph Min. I'm the manager of the closest store, Gourmet Bay, doing business as NYC Merchant Wines, located 745 6th Avenue. May I speak?
Sure.
This area seems to be very much saturated with many liquor stores, as you know. I'm sure you received the revenue report. Last 2 years has been flat relatively and significant drop from pre-pandemic era.
Were you working at this location when your store moved from 23rd Street down to this location?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I wasn't there.
Okay, so you realize that we're just doing a swap, right? Like,
Yes,
you moved
yes.
close to them, and now they're trying to move away from where you
Yes.
moved into.
Yes. Well, I'd just like to emphasize one thing, ma'am. On October 30, 2017, SLA approved the LeGarrec license with the following terms. Terms were they will not carry well-known items and mainly sell the items that are not sold by a nearby store. So they will not compete with the nearby store. We're not really opposing this move since we understand everybody's trying to survive. But since they are moving to the same area, if approved, same terms should be given.
I know, but they're actually moving further away from you. So in a way, it's actually helpful for you.
No, ma'am, they're coming 470 feet to us.
What's the cross street where your store is?
6th Avenue, 24th Street.
24th.
Yes. So they're coming within.
A block.
Yeah. About a block and a half, I would say, your website measure 450
So if
feet.
they move, the license, whatever stipulations are on the license, travel with the license.
Yes.
And they don't sell the stuff that you are talking about.
Our former attorney.
Trust me, I've gone in there
Yeah.
looking for it. Grey Goose for Commissioner Ford.
That's all we're requesting. I mean, make sure the
Okay.
term remains the same with the move.
Well, for the record, there are two other protests, and they haven't limited their protests. Just making the record clear.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, I thank him as well. He made a good point, and so did Commissioner Fan, about the inventory. He will speak about his inventory and the fact that he doesn't carry inventory as similar to the surrounding stores.
I'm more concerned about, and listen, I don't know whose fault it is. It could be your fault.
Yes. Well, no, I'm not, I don't know it.
The best thing to do here when you're filing any application, I think, is to tell the truth. And you gave us 3 separate answers for why he's doing this. And really, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. If the real answer is I'm trying to make money, I'm trying to make more money, there's nothing wrong with that answer. But your first answer was his lease ran out. Lo and behold, licensing looks in, and the guy's got 7 years left on his lease. I don't know who gave you that information to put it on the application, but that's just, come on. The next one was, oh no, it's the lease on a storage area he has. That's not even connected to the licensed premise. Go get another storage area. We give out warehouse permits all the time. The real reason he's moving is what she pointed out. He wants to get into the store they left because he thinks it's a better location. Fine reason to move.
Too, right? It's bigger?
Yeah, fine reason. That's a fine reason to move. Doesn't mean you're going to get it, but it's the truth.
I mean, I was the one who spotted this, and we were going to disapprove it. I was going to disapprove it right from the start because of the reason was clearly not the reason. All right, but we gave you, the applicant the benefit of the doubt to change it, and then the second reason was different. I know you had to let me know that you had gotten some misinformation, but if he was this close to having the application denied, not even getting to the full board.
And I do appreciate that. Deputy Commissioner did point out that and did highlight that issue, and we did he did allow us the chance to clarify it. That was the reason that was initially given to me, and that was a correct reason. I don't think it was
his
the full
store is
picture.
going to be twice the size. I mean, that's the reason.
But I do want to correct something that's important too. He does do internet sales, and most of his sales are online anyway. So yes, his store will be twice the size, but it's not necessarily connected to him doing more sales. It'll be online anyway. We do apologize about that well, it's not a misrepresentation, but miscommunication. And I did speak with my client about our working relationship early in this representation, and that aided in us having miscommunications, but now we are in a better place and can clarify things such as this. I do apologize about that again.
I don't think we need any more information unless you have questions.
Commissioner
I'm
Fan?
good. I vote to approve.
Commissioner Ford?
I'll vote to approve as well.
And Chairman Bradley?
I vote to approve.
Thank you.
Can I take 2 minutes?
Yeah.
I
We're going to go off the record for a brief recess. We'll be back shortly.
Yes.
So we're back on the record after a brief recess. Next is 1176 Showtime Bar and Lounge LLC.
Good morning once again. Michael James for the licensee. This is a CNC for $20,000 that is being offered after speaking with counsel's office.
Just again, I'm sorry.
Showtime, 1176.
Oh, except 20,000.
Why is this stuff still going on?
Some of it is them misunderstanding the temporary rules during COVID. They've ended some of those with that.
Misunderstand hookah.
No, non-tobacco. So they believe non-tobacco hookah was.
No, you gotta have a permit, period.
I have explained that to
tell
them.
Twice.
I do. I have to tell them twice.
The police department did 3 separate inspections on this place. They clearly, particularly in your city, have more important things to do.
Absolutely.
3 separate inspections on just this case. I'll accept.
Commissioner Ford?
Accept.
Thank you, commissioners. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Council, best of luck. Plaza.
Mr. Alvarado, I didn't see you today. I just noticed you're there.
Next is 1188B Glen Cove Mansion Hospitality LLC.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, Mr. Roper. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you all for seeing us under this short notice again. And again, I thank you for Friday. We're here today just for a clarification as to what occurred on Friday. We received an email from Mr. Roper setting forth 3 specific conditions. I then received a follow-up email from Mr. Roper, a clarification as to what Commissioner Ford actually stated. And now we're here for a further clarification, just to make sure that as Chairman Bradley stated, we don't have any unhappy persons coming to the mansion and having their parties as they don't expect them to be. What we're requesting is just a further clarification where if we do have outdoor weddings, which have been booked between now and September, that they'll be allowed a master of ceremonies, somebody to orchestrate the affair, a person playing music to control, as we agreed to with the mansion and the city of Glen Cove and this authority, the volume and the content of the music being played. And third, when the bride and groom or anybody is walking down the aisle, that they'll be allowed live music, which I think was clarified by Mr. Roper and Mr. Ford's concerns specifically pertaining to a pool party as opposed to a wedding or a life event.
Let me just add that I think where this place went awry was when they stopped following what the town of Glen Cove was telling them. They submit permits for their events, and they stopped them from doing the pool party, but I believe they didn't. They continued to grant them permits for their weddings, so.
Right, well, you know, I have played like literally hundreds, if not 1,000 weddings in my life. And I understand every single thing that goes on about them, from soup to nuts, start to beginning, everything about them. I understand the pressures that you're under and that kind of thing with weddings and brides. So when I came up and said, you know, you can have the DJs for their weddings and stuff like that, I think you all know what I meant. You know, I don't mean like DJs and, you know, big mosh pool parties outside and that kind of stuff. I'm talking about DJs within the scope of a wedding or within some type of private event where the DJ is not like the focus. It's part of the ambiance and everything else. Maybe even to get people dancing. You know, you don't get people dancing at a wedding like you do when you have a promoter like what you had before, which is what got you here. So that's all I'm saying to you. You know, that's what What is it you're not clear about?
I think the issue is like indoors versus outdoors, because at the special meeting, it was made clear by you, Commissioner Ford, and Chairman, that the DJs would be for indoor private events, which is what led to this.
Yeah, well, indoor, outdoors, I don't really care. My point is that I think, you guys are grown men, you understand what my point is, that it's got to be something relative to like a wedding or something like that. Not some, gangster party, which you shouldn't be having any of.
Mr. Ford, I completely agree with you. However, based upon what has transpired in the last 2 weeks, we just wanted to make sure that we were dotting all our i's, crossing all our t's, and making sure that when we do have an affair like this weekend, where we have 2 weddings planned,
Yep.
we don't have somebody showing up and saying, oh, by the way, you can't have live music outside because this says only, at the time, recorded music only outdoors. I just didn't want there to be a problem. As much as I like seeing you all, I don't like seeing you all under these circumstances. I wish it was under better circumstances.
You definitely said no music outdoor, no DJ outdoors.
At the pool. I don't know what
Right.
area he's referring to. Like, you're telling me you were having receptions at the pool?
No, none.
You said you were having like, say, cocktail hour at the pool or something like that. I believe that's how you represented it. And I said, that's fine. I mean, that's okay.
Understood.
Does no DJs at the pool work?
No DJs at the pool absolutely works.
You
Just
need
to be.
to be able to have live accompaniment outdoors for
Correct.
the wedding ceremonies.
Yeah, other
Right.
than the pool,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
fine.
worried about it.
Yeah.
Because as you
Okay.
said, the town seems to have a good handle.
As long as this is all subject to the pool area, we don't have a problem. They do have outdoor weddings there under a beautiful tent, and we just didn't want to have a problem.
Yeah, that's not a problem. So that's what I'm pointing out. No DJ
They have-
at the pool.
All right, so you're allowing DJs at the licensed premises.
Whatever they were allowed on
Except-
the licensed premise, they're allowed to do under the tent.
Well, they weren't allowed a DJ.
No, but he
before.
allowed them a DJ.
Right, so what I'm saying is, I just want to make sure that the license certificate is clear as far as what they can and cannot do. So you're saying no DJs except at the pool area?
The DJ's part of it was clear last time. We allowed DJs.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
Well, it was to the sense that
It was
my
indoors
notes
only.
say
Right.
indoor only.
Right.
Yeah.
Now we're saying under the tent as well.
Well, how about DJs except at the pool?
Right.
Because there's a difference between saying under the tent and
Right.
not at the
So
pool.
Because now they're not under the tent, right?
All right,
DJs
And
except at the pool
right.
and live music.
Live music anywhere?
Recorded only at the pool, right? So recorded only is at the pool area, everything else allowed outside the pool.
That's fine.
Pool background,
Recorded only at the pool.
recorded background ambient at the
Yes.
pool.
All right.
Understood.
So I guess what the vote actually is a request for reconsideration, and what do you?
Yes, I'll vote yes on reconsideration and vote yes on the clarified parameters.
Okay.
As
Commissioner
will I.
and Commissioner Ford.
As do I.
Okay.
And then the other provision about the reporting to the police states in effect.
And as stated in the letter, we've already started doing that.
Okay.
You want to send me a letter again, or I'll send you another email laying that out, and if just so we have something in writing that you accept those terms to put it on for the record.
Please do. We'll accept them right away. And then obviously the next question is, I guess, directed to Mr. Donahue. Since we do have affairs on Friday, when can we pick up the physical license?
Probably tomorrow.
Very good. Thank you all very much again for your consideration. Mr. Mayor Hoffer, I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
Ms. Damarati, again, thank you for all your help.
All right. Next is 1133 and 1134 JKK Restaurants LLC.
Good morning or afternoon. I've lost track of a few different things here. This is Ms. Indu Kaur. This is her father, Kulwant Wadwa.
Who's the licensee?
He's the licensee, he's a daughter. I'm introducing Indu as the manager. So I've attached in my exhibits a method of operation reflecting the manager, the security company, and a few other things. This is a classic case of no good deed goes unpunished. And what I mean by that, just to flesh it out a little bit, was the restaurant was purchased 2 years ago, and there were a number of permits and such that were required. They were unaware of it, that they had a proactive obligation to take care of that. What they did do is behind the restaurant, there's a tidal creek. And behind the tidal creek, it's a bit of a mess, and you can take a quick look at these. What the owner-operator did was, it was unsightly. They wanted to clean it up for their neighbors across the tidal creek. The long and short of it is they started to put pavers down, repair the fence, and that brought attention to them, which then led to the inspection. So for 2 years, they were operating unaware that they had to proactively obtain many permits. So if you want to find a silver lining, I guess that's it. Most of my submissions were about what the...
It's 11,
No.
33 and 34.
This is...
I was more looking for an explanation about why they had 300 plus extra people in the place.
That's been eliminated. That's been eliminated.
This is licensed as a restaurant, and they clearly are operating as a nightclub.
They've ceased that. They've ceased that. That's in my submission and in my method of operation.
Still has an option of nightclub from 9 to 2 a.m.
No, again, at this point, we're discontinuing patron dancing. They will have occasional dancing for a holiday.
We discontinue letting 300 plus people.
That they're discontinuing also.
I mean, they have a max occupancy of 146. They had 500 people in the place. 450.
I don't know that I really believe you, because you have an announced August schedule where you are doing singles night on Tuesday nights, ladies night on Thursday nights, live music every Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It says nightclub on every Friday night. Like, what part of this has ceased?
This will be ceasing. That's why we're here. That's why I have a method of operation, which is redefining those. They opened and operated that way, and they are a restaurant. I mean, just...
What's the music in this place that are they allowed to have?
Let me go.
Yeah. I can tell you, Tom. I'm not familiar with
Recorded
it.
music, live music, it's a rock band and a DJ.
So, Mr. Chairman, I just want to make it clear to
Take
you.
the 10,000 and
Yeah.
you are countering 10,000 in recorded music only.
At this time, if I could just address that, because spending my time here and speaking with
You
them.
can come back in 6 months and try to get music back, but the only way I see to stop it is to stop it. So we're stopping it,
Stopping
the music.
how about for just
there's also
small family parties?
And the dancing
The-
gone too. No, the background music only, recorded background music. It's a restaurant, it's gonna operate like a restaurant for a while.
And it will be a restaurant, but can I make an exception for occasional? They do have family buyouts. Ms. Kaur can explain to you what they do. It's an important part of their business.
I get that, but it's gonna have to be a lesser important part for a year.
6 months?
You can come back in 6 months, we'll see what happens.
Okay, because,
That's me, I don't know where they are.
what's that?
No, I'm with him.
Right. Ms. Kaur would like to address Ms. Commissioner Fan from, your social media.
Thank you so much for allowing me to speak. My name is Indu Kaur. I'm the daughter of Mr. Wadhwa. As a operational director, I have experienced, and because of our live music is our livelihood. People especially come from across Connecticut to come and especially eat our good food and have some entertainment. The nights we don't have any live music, we don't get any rush or any clients. And also we have weddings, we have parties, we have bridal showers on the rooftop, and they bring their own music. They bring their own DJ. And it's a family restaurant. Whatever was happening was the previous owners. And when we bought the business, we continued the business to understand what this place is until we clean it up. So we are family oriented. We have reputation for 45 years. My father has run our Indian restaurant with live music.
But you're running,
we have.
you see here, you're running a nightclub, and I just got on the social media.
That was before the previous owners for 10 years. They have been doing it. We continued it to get hold of what's going on, and then we stopped it.
You've had this place since August of 2020.
Correct, and we didn't have it during pandemic. Pandemic was
How
there.
about you couldn't figure it out? This was in March, and you're still doing the stuff.
No, we did not. We did not. We stopped.
For July 13th of this year. I'm looking at a posting.
July of this year.
July 6th.
No, sir, that's.
This is not you, Nacho. Am I looking at the wrong one?
We don't have that website anymore.
No, that's what I'm looking at. This is not you. This is not you.
Tamasha is a family Indian holiday celebration that we do, and this is the company that comes and all we did was bring the families
This is a
together.
restaurant and you're operating it as a nightclub. This is exactly what we don't want. And you've been doing it for 2 years. You continue to do it after there was an inspection.
But it's a family,
You're not
it's a
listening.
family
You're not
environment.
And I'll speak with you.
Bring their kids and we dance.
What the exception we're looking to carve out, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, is in these family events, not bringing third-party providers. If it's a family event, an occasional live music. I will explain
It's not.
your mindset.
Mr. McKellen, it's not occasional. I mean, they have dozens of announcements. They're doing this weekly. Still.
All right, I will speak to them about that. Would it be possible, again, if we could set a number, because I know there have been some bookings.
It looks like it's more of an entertainment space than it is a restaurant. And that needs, if you're going to do that, they need to change it.
They will change it. I'll speak to them. They will look to come
You
back.
have all these live acts that come in there. This is not a restaurant.
Yeah.
But in light of the bookings that are prepared, if we could put a maximum sum until I return in 6 months.
What bookings?
What's that?
What bookings?
SantaCon? I mean, that's a serious restaurant that involves itself in SantaCon?
It's a Port Jefferson Village brings in their own events.
I know what
And they ask all the restaurants to actually participate and do all these events to bring the people in the village. So all those events we reposted by the village bid who creates and Chambers creates these events, and the restaurant are supposed to follow. And we are supposed to understand to give out food or whatever that the village wants us to have these events for the village.
Okay.
I will speak to-
I'm going to stay where I'm at. I'll take the 10,000 and then the recorded music only for at
No
least you can
dancing.
reapply for 6 months. No dancing.
I'm gonna vote with Chairman.
Commissioner Ford?
I'm going to go with that as well, too.
Okay, and 6 months,
You can come
a
back.
lot have been accomplished, and I'll speak to you then. Thanks very much for your patience.
Next is 1137, El Potrero Mexican Rest, Inc.
That's what they are.
Good afternoon, Louis Cesari. For El Potrero, this is a CNC for $6,500.
Does he have a chef now?
He does, yes.
All right, I'll accept 6,500.
Accept. Thank you.
Next is 1156, Longford Inc.
Good afternoon. Frank Fuller for the licensee. So no contest plea before you. My client asked me to come here and explain, he actually did the wrong thing, he acknowledges that. That's why there's a no contest here. I didn't make it off on compromise
I
when,
actually read the stuff.
when an SLA investigator comes in.
I was going to drop it to 1,000.
He was there and he didn't.
Unfortunately, Frank was first schooled when he first got into this industry by an attorney who was no longer alive, who told him, when the liquor authority comes in, scatter. Make yourself unavailable, and that's what he did. And I've since told him that's not what you do.
I'll do 1,000 as well.
I'll go with 1,000. Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. Jonathan, is that it?
For this, that's it?
Yeah, that's it.
No, I'm asking Palillo.
That's it for me, sir.
All right. You are a dedicated attorney. I'm sure you have to like get paid for that.
Yeah.
So 1128, it's a no contest default pleading.
11,000.
Commissioner Ford?
Is it less than that? But I'll do 11,000.
11,000.
1130 is a proposed advisory regarding fingerprint requirements.
You're gonna post this?
Gary has
Gary
additions
has-
he
yeah.
wants, his
Yeah,
final additions to an advisory.
I thought it would be appropriate to indicate what the, just by a list and a cross-reference to the statute, what the disqualifications are. So when the guy signs it,
Well, for the fingerprint, it would just be the felony conviction, so we could just indicate that on the affidavit.
yeah, that would be all you would catch from the.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's fine.
Okay. I'll agree with that and then approve.
Great.
Approved with amendments.
Yes.
And Commissioner Ford?
Approved with the amendment.
Next is 1132. It's an offer of
Accept
2,500.
2,500.
Accept.
1135 is an offer of 500.
500 accept.
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 1136 is an offer of 1,500.
I'll accept, but just cancel as well.
That's just cancel for the record.
Well,
I want to get the 1,500 if we
All
can,
right.
so
they
I'll take
offered
the
before,
1,500.
they offered it before it was canceled.
I'll
So
accept.
Everyone accept?
Yeah.
Yep.
1140 is a no contest default at pleading.
Back to
this
council.
is going back to us.
What happened to 1137? Did we do that?
That was Mr. Zeri.
Yeah, Mr. Sherry came up at
Yeah.
the end.
Yeah, we accepted it.
No, okay.
But this is 1140.
Yeah, send back to council.
Back to council.
1141 is a no contest default at pleading.
I'm at 7,500.
Commissioner Ford?
I'll do 7,500.
7,500.
1142 is an offer of 3,500.
3,500.
3,500.
3,500 accept.
1143 is an offer of cancel and bond.
Cancel and bond.
Or
Cancel
it's a
and bond.
cancel and $1,000 civil penalty. Don't want us to take the.
Oh,
bond.
cancel and $1,000, accept.
There's a new license here.
Is that okay with everyone?
Yep.
1145 and an offer of 3,000.
I'm gonna counter at 5,000.
Commissioner Ford?
I'll counter at 5 as well.
5,000.
1146 is a no contest default at pleading.
Send it back to council.
No, actually, I think what we should do with this one is adjourn it.
Okay.
And you'll get a report from Lisa on whether she could reach the,
817.
yes.
Thank you.
817. 1147 is an offer of 8,000.
8,000.
8,000.
Commissioner Ford?
8,000.
All right. 1148 is a no contest default at pleading.
Cancel for the record.
Cancel and bond.
Cancel and bond.
Cancel and bond.
Cancel and bond.
1149 is an offer of 6,000.
6,000.
Accept.
Accept.
1151 is no contest default at pleading.
Cancel and bond.
Cancel and bond because we have, it's apparently closed.
Cancel and bond.
1152 is an offer of 4,000.
4,000.
4,000. We don't, Donald, do you want these pictures that were?
Yeah, I mean, I'll need
apropos
them,
of
yeah.
nothing?
After I figure out where they were from. I think it was Mr. McCowan. 1153 is an offer of 2,500.
I was gonna go to 4,000.
Commissioner Ford?
I'll go to 4,000.
Chairman?
4,000.
1155 is a no contest.
Cancel and bond.
Yes. I don't think there's any other option.
Yeah, cancel and bond.
Commissioner Ford?
Yes.
1157 is an offer of 12,000.
12,000.
12,000.
Accept.
1158 is an offer of 1,500.
1,500.
1,500.
Accept. 1,500.
1159 and 1160 is an offer of 1,500.
1,500.
1,500. Accept.
1161 is an offer of 7,500.
7,500.
Accept.
Accept. Is that,
1160
well, oh, forget it, go ahead.
1162 is an offer of 1,000.
1,000.
1,000.
Commissioner Ford?
Accept.
Yep. 1163 and 64 is an offer of 15,000.
15,000.
I'm at 20. I just think that this licensee has conformed with a lot less of the requirements of his OP than he has. And they got license claiming cultural diversity, but,
No Moroccan food.
yeah, but no culture going on.
Can't have a lot of culture without the food.
Chairman.
I will go to, what were you at, 15?
I'll take the offer.
The next meeting is August 17th.
Yes, 15,000.
15? Yeah, August 17th, right? Yeah. Yep. 1165 is an offer of 3,000.
3,000.
3,000.
Commissioner Ford.
Accept.
1166 is an offer of 4,000.
4,000.
4,000.
Accept.
1167 is an offer of 1,500.
1,500.
1,500.
2007. Staff are not wearing face masks.
You accept that? 1167.
Since 2007, really nothing. I'd do 1,000.
Did I vote already on
Do
that?
1,000.
I voted already.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
but
do 1,000.
All right, 1,000.
1180 is a new package store application.
I'm gonna vote to approve.
I'm gonna approve as well, just solely while the applicant's not here, their distances with the 4 closest stores are significant, and there's public convenience and advantage just in that.
Commissioner Ford.
Absolutely. Approve.
1181 is a change in method of operation.
They didn't come in?
1184, you said?
Yeah, I had a lot of questions for this
81.
guy. This
Oh,
is a
sorry.
huge place that they're
Yeah.
clearly turning into a nightclub.
Yep.
Wanna
And they already have a rooftop 32, that's a different trade name.
hold over or?
No, I'm voting to deny.
There's
Oh,
there's a
vote
letter
to
of
deny.
support from Rockville PD,
Okay.
but they're not here.
Denied?
So deny?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not one that's gonna come back. 1182 is a new package store application.
Same thing.
I was gonna vote to approve.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote to approve just because the five closest stores are all over 10 miles away. So there is public convenience and advantage just in adding another one.
There you go. I would agree.
Vote to approve.
Next is 1185. I did get an email from the attorney asking to adjourn to August 17th.
Okay.
Vacation. Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Okay. 1186 and 1188. It's an offer of 500.
500, I approve.
Accept.
Accept.
All right, I have nothing else, Chairman. Do you have anything?
Gary, best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, before
done?
So who's
Take the
filling?
rest of the day off. Mike Amaretto is the new acting,
Yeah, I sent an email.
along with